Today in our Krishna Katha, we are going to do a new story called The Mystic Python. Python, you know, is a snake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a very, very big snake. And if you read an encyclopedia, you get to know that python actually swallows its prey whole, as a whole. Doesn't even, break it into pieces, but literally swallows the whole prey in one go. And then digests his prey in the stomach. So this python that we're going to talk about is very, very interesting. But first I'll give you a scenario of what is happening right now in Vrindavan. Okay? So in Vrindavan, usually Krishna gets up in the morning and then he has his breakfast. Mother Yashoda offers him breakfast and then he goes to the forest. He takes his calves to the forest. Okay? And but today they decided that they will not have their breakfast, but they will have their breakfast in the forest itself. So they will have a picnic breakfast. So they told their mothers that today we want to have a little more fun. They always have fun, but today they wanted to have extra fun. So they said that Mother Yashoda, please pack our breakfast. So Mother Yashoda and all the other Gopi mothers, they packed breakfast for Krishna in potlis. You know potlis?
Yes.
Like bags, That time those plastic tiffin boxes were not invented. So they made nice breakfast in potlis and Mother Yashoda would pack it with natural ingredients that you find in nature. Like, sometimes you find big banana leaves. You can nicely pack a breakfast, or your lunch in that also. And then you can stew it with something that you find in the natural, ambience, right? So these kind of things that they would take from the forest and from the jungles. They would not produce anything in the factories in those days, right? Because the industrial revolution had not happened then, right? This is 5,000 years ago. So they all decided. So you know how they get up? Like we get up with what? With an alarm clock, right? So how does Krishna get up in the morning and how does he wake up his other Gopa friends? They have a bugle. There's an instrument called bugle and you blow the bugle aloud and that's how his Gopa friends would get up. So he blew his bugle and all his Gopa friends got up and they all started getting ready and Mother Yashoda and all the other mothers, they packed their picnic breakfast. Now they're all going to the forest. You can imagine there are many, many calves that they are taking. And Krishna himself had many calves. And then imagine the other Gopas carrying their own calves. So there were many calves and there were these 5-year-old, 6-year-old children and Krishna was also with them and they were all going. Now when they are going, they are having a lot of fun while they are going. They are playing while they are going. Some Gopa is mimicking the monkeys that they see. Like how do monkeys do? What do monkeys do? Yeah, show me how monkeys behave. Yeah. So they are mimicking the monkeys. They are mimicking the peacocks. Peacocks, they spread their feathers. So they are mimicking all these birds. The cuckoo. How does a cuckoo take out a sound? Can you take out cuckoo sound? Yeah. So they are all imitating like that. And then they come across a well. They look at their reflection in the well. And if you speak something, if you talk in the, if you say something in the well, it echoes, right? So they are taking out this echoing sound and they're really rejoicing all these activities. They're doing a lot of fun and laughter. And then, when the birds are flying in the sky, they are chasing the shadow of the birds. These are the games that Krishna is playing with his friends. And then Krishna kind of walks a little fast and he's going deep into the forest. All the Gopas are playing a game called Who Will Touch Krishna First. So they decide amongst each other that let's go and whoever touches Krishna first is the winner. So these are the games that they are playing. But there is no competition. The games that they are playing, these are not competitive games. they don't have any ill feelings for each other. They are very friendly and very helpful. Like you all also play in the park, Krishna also used to play in the forest. But there was no fighting, no ill feeling, no jealousy, no envy in them. They were very, very cordial. They were very, very happy to play with each other. Nobody was pulling each other's leg. Nobody was bullying each other. So like this, they were playing and they were entering into the forest. And while they entered into the forest, they saw suddenly, yesterday also they came to the forest to herd the cows, but today they saw a very strange sight. They saw something which looked like a cave, and this cave was not there a day ago. So today somehow there was a cave, and all the Gopas were very excited. They thought that somebody has made a cave for them overnight, and they could go inside the cave and play some games of hide and seek, different, they could invent some games. So the Gopas are really excited. But they also thought, how did this cave suddenly appear? Nobody made the cave, and it was a huge cave. So they were also worried, isn't this a demon? Because we have seen in the previous sessions and in the previous storytelling sessions that we have done, that so many demons have come and attacked Krishna, right? So the Gopas also have this in their mind, maybe this is a demon. Maybe this is a demon. If this is not a cave, then it can be a demon. Now they are scared. But then they look at the beautiful, bright face, laughing face of Krishna, and they say, okay, even if it is a demon, we will be saved by Krishna, because so many multiple times Krishna has saved us from demon. Which all demons does Krishna save them from? We start from Putna. Putna, then Shatkasur, Trinavat, then Bakasur we did. So many multiple demons have come and attacked them, but every time Krishna saves them. So they have full confidence on Krishna. So they walk straight into the cave. Cave like python. Actually, it's not a cave, it's a python. And the name of this python is Aghasur. Aghasur is so huge. He's, how long he is? He's 8 miles long. And he is the brother of Putna. He's the brother of Putna and Bakasur. Okay, these are the two demons who Krishna killed. Remember, Krishna killed Putna and Bakasur. So this Aghasur is the brother of Putna and Bakasur, and he really is jealous and he's envious of Krishna. And he's also envious of the Gopas who are playing with Krishna and who are having so much fun and laughter. So he's basically a personality who's very envious, because Agha means jealous. Agha, the meaning of Agha is somebody who's very jealous. So basically he's not very happy. When he sees somebody very happy, playing, laughing and enjoying himself, Agha feels bad, Agha feels jealous, and he doesn't want that person to feel happy, and he wants to do some ill to that person. So Aghasur thought for a moment. He said, now this Krishna actually killed my brother and my sister. If I kill him, then all the Gopas will themselves, they will die, because they will have so much sorrow that they will not be able to live without Krishna, because Krishna is the center of their life. So they will automatically die out of sorrow, and their parents also will die. So I will be able to take my revenge. You understand his mentality? Very bad mentality. We shouldn't have this kind of mentality. We shouldn't feel bad if somebody is happy, and we shouldn't feel good if somebody is sad. We should actually feel happy when someone is happy. And if someone is sad, we should have compassion in our heart. We should feel bad. We should feel sad for this person, and we should help that person if that person is feeling sad. So Aghasur, with this kind of a mentality, he opened his mouth, and his upper lip, his upper lip was touching the sky. It was so huge, and his lower lip was touching the ground, and it felt like a cave. And the Gopas were very excited. They thought, wow.
Was he in the form of a serpent?
Yeah, he was in the form of a python, not even an ordinary serpent. Python is many times more than a serpent.
After that, he put
Yes. So then, so he opened his mouth, but the Gopas are thinking it's a cave, and his tongue was like a long road which was stretched out. He had taken out his tongue, so it was like a long road, and the Gopas felt as if they were getting invited into this cave, and they were
and
thinking.
it was shining a lot.
Yes, it was shining a lot, and they were thinking that wow, we can have so many innovative games now in this cave. We can hide somewhere, no one will find us. We can play bat. We can play as many games, and they were very good at inventing new games. Like how you all play every day. You all come up with new ideas. Krishna and Gopas would also come up with these new ideas every single day. That's how they used to enjoy going to the forest. So, why do you think these demons are sent to the forest every other day? Why?
Because the Kant was his mama, and the god Vishnu has said
Yeah.
that the Maya will kill you.
Yeah, so you answered a very nice question. Who was sending? Who was sending the demons? You answered it very well. You said Kans was sending the demons. But why were these demons coming, Because the Gopas and Krishna Balram, they used to forget having their lunch because they were so engrossed in playing. They were so engrossed in admiring Krishna that they would forget to eat their lunch. So these demons used to come in between. The Yogmaya Shakti of Krishna would allow these demons into Vrindavan. So that when Krishna kills the demons, obviously after doing a lot of activity, don't you feel hungry? Suppose you go for swimming, or you go for badminton, or you go for any sports. After that sport, don't you feel hungry? So then, similarly, when Krishna kills these demons, these Gopas are also part of that Leela, right? So they would feel hungry. So then they would sit and start having their lunch. Otherwise, they would forget to eat only. Got it? So now, these children, these Gopas are entering into the python's mouth. And Krishna really wants to stop them. No, don't go. This is not an ordinary cave. This is actually a demon, and this demon is going to swallow you whole. Because that is the nature of a python. But before Krishna could stop the Gopas had already moved into the python's mouth. And they kept looking, Krishna is coming. Because they know, agar Krishna hai, so we are safe, we are protected. So Krishna also walked in.
No.
Krishna walked in.
No, he went after.
Yeah, so Krishna also simultaneously walked in. And this python had swallowed the Gopas, but he was not eating them. He was waiting for Krishna. Krishna will come, then I will swallow them all together. And then I will finish this Krishna. And I will also please my master Kans. And I will also take my revenge of my brother and sister. Okay, my brother and sister was killed by Krishna, so I will take revenge. But lo and behold, what happened? When Krishna entered this python's, throat, basically, Krishna expanded himself.
From upper side.
Yeah, from his throat side, from here, he expanded himself, and Aghasur was thinking, I will also expand. Because he has the mystic powers now, but he could not because Krishna was suffocating him, and his life air was not able to come out, and his eye sockets were bulging out because he's not able to breathe. So then what happened? The air came out from the top of his head. Basically, his life came out from the top of his head because all his front portion was totally suffocated. Got it? And now Krishna is inside Aghasur, right? And all his Gopa friends are also inside Aghasur. There is so much poison inside the python's body that because of this poison, all the Gopas are lifeless. They're totally lifeless. They're not moving. Krishna is feeling bad that my friends are all lifeless. So then Krishna brings them to life. You know how Krishna brings them to life? Just by his glance, just by looking at them sweetly, smilingly. Krishna brings them to life. And once they are out, Krishna also comes out of the body of Aghasur and kills Aghasur in the process. And Aghasur, there's a light which comes out. There's an effulgent light which comes out of Aghasur's body. And that effulgent light is waiting for Krishna. The moment Krishna comes out, this effulgent light goes and merges into Krishna. And you know what happens to Aghasur? He gets Swarupa Mukti. You know what is Swarupa Mukti? Liberation. It is a liberation where you get the form of the Lord. You become, after you leave this body, you become the four-handed form of Vishnu. You take the four-handed form of Vishnu. You look exactly like Vishnu. Can you imagine a demon who had come to kill Krishna? Krishna is so merciful that he gave him Swarupa Mukti. You know why? Can you even imagine why Krishna was so merciful? Because this Aghasur was actually giving pleasure to his friends. Wasn't he giving pleasure to his friends? They were playing in the cave. They were running here and there. So many games they had invented. So he was giving pleasure, playing pleasure to his friends. So Krishna was so happy that my friends are so happy. My Gopa friends are so happy. So in return, he gave liberation to Aghasur. So you can imagine how compassionate Krishna is. Similarly, in Putna's story also we see, just because Putna fed Krishna her milk, he gave her liberation. Isn't it? So Krishna is very kind. We just have to surrender. We just have to love him. He loves us many, many folds. Right? So now do you want to know what was Aghasur's previous life? What was Aghasur in his previous life? Do you want to know?
Yes.
Aghasur was a demon called Agha. And he was very handsome. Though he was in a demon's body, he was still very handsome and good looking. One day, he saw one sage called Ashtavakra. And Ashtavakra sage, his body was a little deformed. So he would walk like this. He couldn't walk straight. But he was a very powerful and very austere sage. He had many, many siddhis. He had many, many mystic powers. But the only problem was that his body was not properly shaped. He had some problem. So he was walking like this, and Agha saw him like that. And he started laughing. And he said that, oh, look at this ugly creature. So this powerful sage became really angry. He became so angry, he said, how dare you insult me? If you talk like this, then this is not good behavior, right? If somebody is not good looking, let's say, though we should not look at people like that, Everybody is a creation of God, right? So we shouldn't look at people like that. But if we make fun of people's looks, see what happens. That sage got so angry with Agha, he said, you are behaving like this, you are twisting your body like this. May you become like a snake who actually has to twist his body. Otherwise it can't move, isn't it? So he was cursed by the sage. Now Agha realized the power of the sage and he said that, I'm really sorry. He asked for forgiveness. So then the sage said, okay, you will definitely be a snake in your next life, but you will get liberation when Krishna comes and plays with his Gopa friends in Vrindavan forest. So now this is the scene where I explained to you how he got liberated, right?